When you hear speakers talk about things that you don't understand, it's because everything is mind. Now, when you say everything is mind, when the speaker says everything is mind, it means that everything that is discussed, any piece of information, any pictorial image, any sound that has been projected as if it's an existing idea or a conceptual word, any information anything that has been actively experienced and try to promote it, demote it, give it some life, give it some meaning. For example, when any speaker speaks about consciousness, from the experience, from that almighty experience, and the experiences in that moment takes place, when the speaker tries to share it, promote it, it's actually defacing what it is, because the mind is all that exists between a vocal or a pictorial or a sensory reaction from this hard drive. I don't know if I'm saying this right, but anything that we speak about is mind. Anything that we experience with no mind active, but mind essentially like an essence of what is taking place, with no me, the doer, me, the experiencer, me, the experiencer, and the story it's trying to interpret or understand. It's just stuff that arises from the true experience. So what we are is what we are, and we are the true experience. We are the true experience. But when we say we, and you say the body, me, the soul, me, the spirit, me, the consciousness, me, the person, me, the name, me, when we say all of that stuff, we deface, we demoralize, we dishonor the ultimate experience. That's what we do when we try and enhance or simply share. We deface, we demoralize what we are here for. And this is an example of something. I don't know if this is a body, that's a name. That's what we've been conditioned, and through a need to understand and try and examine and try and control and try and make something worthwhile out of this experience. That's what we do. We give ourselves names, we give everything names, we give them identities. But when you take away all the names and the identities, when you take away all the thoughts and the meaning and the perceptual image, that is whatever it is, and that is whatever it is. When you take away all that stuff, we are experiencing that ultimate experience, but we don't know what we're talking about, what the speaker's talking about. You don't know what I'm talking about because you think you need a brain, a mind, and a logical way to understand what is taking place. But what is taking place is unbelievable and immaculate. And the mind wants to tamper with it, it wants to give it names. And that's why many speakers of enlightenment, consciousness, non duality are dismissed, and quite rightfully, because the way you cannot share or interpret something that is unique. This speaker experienced this profound one moment, a profound one moment. Eckhart Tolle calls it presence, here and now. Ram Dass, I-ness, this present moment. Osho speaks always within the present moment. Never speaks out with, behind, or forward, because these are just ideas. There is nothing else but this present moment, this one moment. So what the speaker is saying is, whatever you take from any single other being, whether it's a pictorial image, whether it's a vocal sharing, whether it's a precise meaning, whether it's a fantasy, an imagination, they're not going to give you it. They're not going to give you it. That's why the speaker says, not a teacher, not a guru, not a person, not anything worthwhile copying or following or clicking, like, dislike, subscribe, whatever. Because you're just attaching, you're a leech. Your mind is a leech wanting to attach to other leeches. This is a leech when it tries to portray and share. This is ego. Ego is the leech. It wants, it needs, it has to have. It looks, it seeks, it searches for more. Now, the speaker will never demoralize another body, because the body is a name, but the body is a unique, incredible manifestation of consciousness. It is the most unique manifestation of consciousness. But our mind wants to supersede it and copy it and say, no, yeah, look at me. I'm replicating consciousness. I'm replicating presence. I'm replicating this one moment. I'm replicating God. I'm replicating spirit. I'm replicating soul. I'm replicating your experience. But the replication is a temporary movement. You'll never, ever get the truth of yourself by listening to any other, even the most pure, even the most incredible Ramana Maharshi. Many said, looked into his eyes, never uttered one word. Gone. But when you look into the eyes of someone that you think is that caliber, you're looking with a mind for something. I'm going to get it. I'm going to get something. And these thoughts are all words, all concepts, all meanings. You have to remove, you see. Whatever Ramana Maharshi's eyes give you, you have to say, not this. I want to finish with, when enlightenment came, this ultimate truth, when this Francis Assisi, Rumi calls it, when the door opened, I was looking from the inside. When this experience is, there's no person, there's no human, there's no flesh, there's no name, there's no me, there's no you, there's no world, there's no nothing, there's just isness. Isness. When this takes place, there's a complete dissolution of all the things that you've known. A complete dissolution of mind. Mind scarpers into the corner of into the furthest galaxy. Because it cannot cope with the destruction, with the surrendering, with the giving up of what it says, you need me. And everyone says that, from the government, from the politicians, from your partner, from your children. You need me. You will obey me. Not that your family say these things, but there's an idea. And of course, in a human world, in a mind-based world, don't think the speaker is going to say remove everything, your family, your physical things. It's the thoughts. It's simple thoughts. It's simple programmed messages, programmed educational information. That's all you're denying. Ramana Maharshi went up in the hills just to escape from all these incredibly leeches that wanted more and more and more, wanted some of his life, wanted some of his enlightenment, wanted some of Rupert Shira's consciousness, wanted some of Muji's amness, wanted something of Papaji's one moment. You don't have to want anything from this speaker. I'm not offering anything to you. In fact, I am taking everything away from you. That's the job of the enlightened. That you can't, I don't like this enlightened mind or this enlightened being. That's the job. That's the chore. It's to remove and take everything away and discard it. Discard the mind. Discard everything. This video is making no sense to mind. It's nonsense to mind. You are a core being. The manifestation of everything arises from you. This word God arises from you. The actuality of what we perceive through our eyes does not arise. It does not arise from me or you, whatever we are beyond mind. Nature does not arise from us, but the very words that we give it, the very destruction of nature by separating it and by saying the tree is a tree, it's not part of the sky, it's not part of the hill, is a dissolution itself. We want to dissolve nature. We want to destroy nature. We want to cut it down and chop it up and do many things and look for many things, and geologists want to do this, and bio people want to do this, and scientists want to do this. Yeah. But we don't want to chop up the very idea that it's all broken and segmented. We want to keep it broken and segmented. We don't want to unify everything, because to unify everything means to allow consciousness to be on its own as one whole moment. You know, the most beautiful, it's not God, it's not consciousness, it's not emptiness, it's not non-duality, it's not life, it's not death, it's not birth. For this speaker, for whatever one is, it is that one moment, that presence. Inescapable, undeniable, untouchable. We don't have to touch it because we are it. The only moment, infinite, no beginning, no end, always here, always now. But this I cannot share it with you. You cannot share anything with any other being once you discover it. Once you discover yourself, your truth, you only share that gratitude within to that one that revealed it for you. And that one is separate. And that one is what we call absolute Brahman, beyond consciousness. And you're never separate from that one either. So who can say, I am consciousness alone? I am appearing as a conscious thing, what we call it body. I'm appearing as a conscious life, a conscious experience, a conscious world. I'm appearing as all these states. I'm appearing as mind. But I'm also beyond consciousness. In every universe, in every galaxy, in every cosmos, I exist. And you say God made an individual, singular person you. I don't think God would do that. You call it God, Brahman, Absolute, whatever. I don't think you do that. They would do that. It would do that, whatever it is. It's not going to create or design minuscule things. You think the slug or the maggot is smaller than you. No, it's incredible genius. You're incredible genius. The world is incredible genius. That's the names we give it. When we remove the names, there is only incredible genuineness. Are you separate from that? Are you going to die in misery? Everything is one. Everything is one, but you don't want to listen to these words. You want to experience your one. Remove I and replace it with one. What can do that? Remove mind, remove information, remove knowledge, remove systems, remove education, remove information, remove I. But you don't want to do that either. And that's quite within your rights. And that's the right attitude. Remove me. Remove the speaker. Remove Ramanam. Remove Papaji. Remove all those. Remove religion. Remove your ideas, your concepts about what to expect, and remove expectations. And remove the thoughts. And in the midst of all this surrendering, this giving up, when you're least aware of it, something will grab you and pull you out. But it's not out. It's just a stopping. Stop. And then you're back in. And in that moment, in that 1 nanosecond moment that we call in time, you experience that profound one moment, which is timeless. And only one moment exists. One moment, the mirror. The mirror with no sides, with no glass, with no form, with no formlessness, with no emptiness, with no nothingness, with no fullness. Absolutely nameless, absolutely omnipotent, omnipresent. That one moment, that presence, that here-ness. And you're free. You have to live a life as this, we call ourselves human. A nameless human that people shout names at it and you go, yeah, okay, that's me. I remember that name. Yeah. Okay, yeah, it's me. Yeah. I have this incredible memory system. But I'm not the memory system. I'm not the name. I'm not the body. I'm not the past. I'm not the future. I'm not nothing. I'm not something. Nothing here, something here. They meet in this one moment.